It was a cold August morning in 1963. The air was crisp and a thick fog hung over the British countryside, creating an eerie atmosphere. Little did anyone know this seemingly ordinary day would go down in history. Britain was about to witness an audacious crime that would capture the nation's attention and leave an indelible mark on its history. A gang of robbers, masked and armed, stopped the Royal Mail train in a meticulously planned operation. These men were not ordinary criminals, they were highly organized and determined. They made off with millions of pounds, a staggering sum that would be worth even more today. The sheer scale of the heist was unprecedented. The Great Train Robbery, as it came to be known, shocked the nation. Newspapers were filled with headlines, and the public was both horrified and fascinated by the audacity of the crime. The robbery took place near the village of Cheddington, a quiet and unsuspecting location that would forever be associated with this infamous event. The target was a high-value train traveling from Glasgow to London, carrying large amounts of cash and valuables. This train was a prime target for the gang. The gang used a simple but effective method to stop the train. They tampered with the trackside signals, causing the train to come to a halt at a predetermined spot. By manipulating the signals, they ensured that the train would stop exactly where they wanted it to, allowing them to carry out their plan with precision. The robbery was meticulously planned. Every detail was considered, from the timing of the train to the escape route. The gang left nothing to chance. The gang, led by Bruce Reynolds, spent weeks studying the train's schedule and security. They knew exactly when and where to strike, making their operation almost flawless. They even had a hideout, Leatherslade Farm, where they could lie low after the heist. This secluded farmhouse provided the perfect cover for the gang as they divided the loot and planned their next moves. This daring heist captured the public imagination. People were both terrified and intrigued by the sheer boldness of the crime, and it quickly became a topic of conversation across the country. It became a symbol of both criminal audacity and societal vulnerability. The Great Train Robbery highlighted the weaknesses in the security systems of the time and showed just how vulnerable even the most secure operations could be. But it also marked a turning point in the history of British crime. The investigation that followed was one of the largest and most complex in British history, leading to significant changes in law enforcement and security measures. If you enjoyed this journey through history, make sure to subscribe to Histrological Life Journey for more fascinating stories. The gang behind the Great Train Robbery was a motley crew of career criminals. They were led by the charismatic but ruthless Bruce Reynolds. Reynolds was a known face in London's underworld. He had a reputation for being a smooth talker and a cunning strategist. Then there was Ronald "Buster" Edwards. Edwards was a small-time crook turned big-time robber. He was known for his quick temper and his love of the high life. Charlie Wilson was another key player. Wilson was a brutal enforcer. He wasn't afraid to use violence to get what he wanted. The gang also included several accomplices. These individuals provided logistical support. They helped with planning and getaway. The robbers came from different backgrounds, but they were united by greed and a thirst for adventure. The planning of the Great Train Robbery was almost as remarkable as the heist itself. It was a masterclass in criminal ingenuity and meticulous preparation. The gang, led by Bruce Reynolds, left no stone unturned in their quest to pull off one of the most audacious crimes in British history. The gang spent months studying the train's route and schedule. They analysed every detail, from the speed of the train to the exact timing of its stops. This level of scrutiny was essential to ensure that their plan would go off without a hitch. They used sophisticated, for the time, surveillance techniques. This included staking out key locations and using binoculars and cameras to gather crucial information. Their dedication to surveillance was unparalleled, showing just how serious they were about their mission. They even had inside information from a postal worker. This insider knowledge gave them a significant advantage, allowing them to anticipate the movements of the train and its valuable cargo. The gang's hideout, Leatherslade Farm, was crucial to their plan. This secluded location provided a safe haven where they could plan and rehearse without fear of being discovered. It was located in a remote part of Buckinghamshire. The isolation of the farm meant that they could operate in secrecy, away from prying eyes and potential informants. It provided the perfect cover for their activities. The farm's remote location and dilapidated appearance made it an ideal base of operations for the gang. They used the farm to practice their escape routes. Rehearsing these routes was vital to ensure that they could make a quick getaway if things went wrong. They also used it to stash their equipment. The farm's barns and sheds were perfect for hiding the tools and vehicles they would need for the heist. The gang communicated using walkie-talkies. This allowed them to coordinate their actions in real time, ensuring that everyone was on the same page during the heist. They were careful to avoid using their real names. Instead, they used code names to protect their identities and avoid detection. This made it harder for the police to track them down. The use of code names and careful communication meant that the authorities were always one step behind. The level of detail in their planning was impressive. Every aspect of the heist was meticulously thought out, from the timing to the logistics. It reflected the gang's determination to succeed, no matter the cost. Their unwavering commitment to their plan was a testament to their resolve and their willingness to take risks to achieve their goal. On August 8, 1963, the gang put their plan into action. They tampered with the signals near Bridego Bridge. This forced the train to stop. The robbers, masked and armed, stormed the train. They overpowered the driver and postal workers. The robbers had expected to find high-value packages. They were surprised by the sheer amount of cash on board. Working quickly, they transferred 120 mail bags to their waiting vehicles. The robbery itself was over in minutes. The gang escaped to their hideout. They celebrated their success. They had no idea that their actions would have such a profound impact on British society. The nation woke up to news of the robbery. People were shocked and outraged. Section 5, the aftermath, a frantic race against time. The police launched a massive manhunt for the robbers. Scotland Yard, under immense pressure to solve the crime, dedicated significant resources to the investigation. Forensic experts combed the crime scene for clues. Detectives interviewed hundreds of witnesses. The public was captivated by the case. Newspapers ran daily updates. People speculated about the identity of the robbers. The reward for information leading to their capture grew larger by the day. The pressure on the police was immense. The Great Train Robbery wasn't just a crime, it was a national scandal. The robbers had become folk heroes to some. Their daring escape had captured the imagination of a nation hungry for excitement. Section 6, Justice is served, the long arm of the law. Despite their meticulous planning, the robbers made mistakes. They left fingerprints at their hideout. They also spent their ill-gotten gains freely. This drew attention to them. One by one, the gang members were arrested. Some were caught in the UK, others were tracked down abroad. The trial of the Great Train Robbers was a media sensation. The public was eager to see justice served. Most of the robbers received lengthy prison sentences. Bruce Reynolds, the mastermind behind the heist, was sentenced to 25 years. But some, like Ronnie Biggs, managed to escape prison and live as fugitives for years. Section 7. Lessons learned. The impact on law enforcement. The Great Train Robbery had a profound impact on British law enforcement. It exposed vulnerabilities in the security of the Royal Mail and railway system. It led to significant changes in police procedures. The use of forensic evidence, particularly fingerprinting, became more sophisticated. The police also adopted new communication technologies. The robbery highlighted the need for better cooperation between different police forces.
The Great Train Robbery was a wake-up call for British policing. It forced us to rethink our methods and adapt to the changing face of crime.
Section 8. The Great Train Robbery on Screen Fact Meets Fiction. The Great Train Robbery has been a source of fascination for filmmakers and television producers ever since it happened. Numerous documentaries and dramatizations have attempted to recreate the events of that night. Some, like the 1965 film Robbery, have focused on the meticulous planning and execution of the heist. Others, like the 1988 television series Buster, have explored the personal stories of the robbers themselves. These depictions, while often entertaining, have also played a role in shaping public perception of the robbery. They have turned criminals into anti-heroes and blurred the lines between fact and fiction. Section 9. Echoes of the past, crime in the modern age. The Great Train Robbery may have taken place over half a century ago, but it continues to resonate in the public imagination. This audacious heist, carried out with meticulous planning and precision, captured the world's attention and has since become a symbol of criminal ingenuity. The robber's ability to outsmart the authorities and execute such a daring plan has left an indelible mark on the history of crime. It serves as a reminder that no matter how secure we believe ourselves to be, there will always be those who seek to exploit weaknesses in the system. The evolution of crime is a constant battle between those who enforce the law and those who break it. As security measures become more sophisticated, so too do the tactics of criminals, always looking for new vulnerabilities to exploit. Today, as technology advances at an unprecedented rate, so too do the methods of criminals. The digital age has ushered in a new era of crime where traditional boundaries are blurred and the reach of criminals extends far beyond physical borders. High-tech gadgets and advanced computer systems have become both tools and targets in this ongoing struggle. Cybercrime, identity theft, and data breaches are now everyday concerns. The anonymity provided by the internet has emboldened criminals, making it easier for them to carry out their activities without fear of immediate repercussions. The digital landscape is constantly shifting, and with it, the nature of crime evolves. International money laundering and financial fraud are just some of the challenges facing law enforcement agencies in the 21st century. These crimes are complex and often involve multiple jurisdictions, making them difficult to investigate and prosecute. The global nature of these offenses requires unprecedented levels of cooperation and coordination among law enforcement agencies worldwide.